Hey guys, sorry, early technical difficulties, but now I'm here guys. Bitcoin is on the way down after we put in a new all-time high at close to $107,000, and now there is a final shakeout coming. I will show you how low we potentially go, if that is something that we need to worry about, and we talk about altcoins. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here on this amazing Monday. So here we jump directly into the CME chart. I have no time to waste here again today, guys. Let me just do this here. Okay, now we are rolling. So here on the Bitcoin CME chart, we actually created a CME gap that is below current price. So remember I said yesterday that if something like this would be happening, I would not really like that, because it opens up the possibility that we do something like this here and only then reverse back to the upside. So now this option is on the table. We have 48 hours to fill that CME gap. If it's not happening within 48 hours, most of the time it will not get filled if we are not doing it really quickly. So now when we're going into the Bitcoin chart, here you can clearly see on the 12-hourly chart, we had broken today above that resistance line here at $102,700, but now we are reversing here with the current 12-hourly candle, and we're topping out with the stochastic RSI, and also the RSI is turning around, which is not a good sign and puts more downward pressure on Bitcoin, even though I believe that the first level of support will come in around the $101,500, $102,000 mark. But if this here is not holding on the VPVR, it is all the way down here to the top of that VPVR range again of $98,700, which would coincide with another retest of the midsection of the EMA ribbon before we get continuation to the upside. On the 1-hourly chart, here we got a breakout out of our symmetrical triangle to the upside as expected. So here I can actually, no, I do this later. So here you see also on the 1-hourly time frame, it looks like that we start to turn around on a stochastic RSI, but on the 4-hourly chart, definitely not. So here we need to see how the stochastic RSI is going to behave. If we are lucky, guys, the stochastic RSI might come down and do something like this, and the Bitcoin price will just chop sideways in that range here, from 104,000 to like 105,500 approximately. So if that is something that we start doing, then we are fine. So while the RSI is cooling down, coming down, we only range here. And once the 4-hourly RSI is at the bottom and stochastic RSI is at the bottom, turns around, we're going to get the next break into higher price levels once again and take out this new all-time high now. On the, no, not that 4-hourly chart. No, actually, yes. So here, this 4-hourly chart really quickly. Or do I need, no, we can go to this one here. So here on the MDX algo scalp gradient, you see price has heated up now. We got the first take profit signal again, which is not a good sign if we want Bitcoin to go higher. Also here, we got the second wave of the red phase. No, sorry, the first phase. So the second wave can be happening, doesn't have to be happening. So also here, we need to be a little bit cautious, because the next level of support on the 4-hourly chart, also here, $102,000, you see there's a lot of confluence, and then below that order block here at $100,600 to $101,600. So here I expect in the short term support, where we most likely get a small bounce, but we could still risk to come a little bit lower. Most likely the $100,000 level is going to hold. I actually believe that the move that is coming potentially into $100,000 might wick slightly below that, but reverses directly back to the upside, and you get here a pinball candle, something like this here, if it's going to play out. So because these take profit plots on the MDX algo scalp gradient, they are pretty accurate when you look here over time, you know. So here take profit, rolled over, here take profit, rolled over, now again take profit. Sometimes you get 2 take profit signals, sometimes you get only 1, but you get another dot plot. So here over the next 8 to 12 hours, we know if we are going to get another dot plot or not. So that is what I'm looking out for here. So something else I want to mention is that the prior all-time high is not holding support, but the underlying level that's just below that. So, and for that, I wanted to go back to, hey, what is happening here? I wanted to go back to, did I here by accident? Yeah, so there we go. So here on the 1 hourly chart, I wanted to show you this, that basically here, that is the underlying support block that we have. So as long as that area holds, there's nothing to worry about. So if this area breaks, then we have a problem. So but until then, Bitcoin is fine. So it looks like that we will come down into this area to potentially attempt a bounce back to the upside. So this is coming in at $102,400 to $103,500 approximately. So when we're looking here at the daily chart, then also here you see the breakout out of that rising wedge pattern. As I said, I don't like that, you know. So if we get the breakout at a point like this here, it is too early for a break. And usually that reverses back into the rising wedge pattern. So again, if we would do that and just dip here slightly back into it, $102,000 is here once again the confluence level that we would get into, because also here on these candles there is the support currently sitting. So be prepared that we could see something like this here unfolding, unless there is actually in 2 days there is the next Fed meeting. So that could change direction, you know, so for the Bitcoin price. So if they come out more bullish with the last meeting this year than anticipated, then this can definitely prop up Bitcoin and turn us around here. So then also with the moon phases, I told you guys yesterday, these moon phases, I always take them with a grain of salt, you know, so but most of the time they're quite accurate, you know. So we printed a full moon and price pump to the upside as expected. So, but also you see here shortly after the pump, usually you get a small retracement before we then get continuation to the upside. So here most likely also small retracement into $102,000, maybe a little bit lower, and then we get the continuation move. On ZoomX, I actually started to take a little bit of profit on some of my positions, not all of them, but on some of them, because I looked this morning at this. My portfolio was over $700,000. It was $710,000 here on that ZoomX account. And I saw my Bitcoin trade was up $50,000. My Phantom trade was up $40,000. And I was like, who cares? I'm going to take 20% off the table. You know, so I take some chips off the table. That's why you see here my daily realized P&L. You know, so here $9,200 and $12,300. So I took roughly $21,500 off the table, so that I definitely made here already some profit, regardless what's happening here with these positions in the future. Because you can see here, I've technically lost here over the course of the day $18,000 worth of profit on Phantom already, based on where it was this morning, my morning, you know. So and here on Bitcoin, not that much, it's only 10,000. So that is kind of still okay, you know. So, but you're going to see this will be by the end of January sitting at $1 million, you know. So it's happening. You see here how quick these positions were running into profit. So I'm not really worried about this to hit my my target here of $1 million really, really soon. Again, guys, if you want to trade on ZoomX with me together, there's a link in the description. You still get $45,000 worth of sign up and deposit bonuses. So make use of that, especially if you live in a country where you cannot use Bybit, like US, Canada, India, parts of Europe, wherever you cannot use leverage. Sign up on ZoomX, there you can. Now with the liquidation levels, here also another big issue, guys, that I have to point out. I warned you guys yesterday about this when I said expect that we could see here a move as high as $108,000 to take out the liquidity, and then you're going to see a wick back to the downside, because there was on the heat map a lot of concentrated, high concentrated short positions and sell orders that would slam Bitcoin down again. And this is exactly what we see unfolding right now. But as long as that upward sloping trend line is holding, there's really nothing to really be concerned. The only problem is that we have just below that trend line all the high leveraged liquidity for long positions that went long on that move here to the upside. So that is right now definitely an attractive target for market makers to come down here and to liquidate everybody before we then turn around and get the continuation. We don't have to go as low as, like I said, below $100,000, because we have also the 50 moving average creeping up here. And that is around the $100,000 level currently sitting. So that's why I'm saying, you know, so if we would come down here, it would be most likely just a step, you know, really quick, then back up, and then continuation, maybe like $99,000 or something like that. Nothing crazy, too crazy. So here on the liquidation heat map, you can see exactly what I mentioned here. These areas were taken out. We went a little bit higher. And now when I go to the last 24 hours, because that's now what's really interesting, where the liquidity is sitting, you see, again, $102,000, a lot of confluence to drive the price down here, because here's now the highest concentrated area that has built up over the last 24 hours. And it is actually a lot, you know, so almost $77 million worth of long positions building up over 24 hours. That is a huge amount, guys, you know, so just for a 24-hour period. So hence why I believe that this might be now a logical target, that price gets driven down here before we then continue to move to the upside and take out the liquidity that is sitting here, because people will start build short positions now to take advantage of that move to the downside. So, but what they are not counting on, if they're unexperienced, is the quick turnaround back to the upside. So I would not chase that at all. And I can also tell you, altcoins will not do how to say that, will not do as bad as people are expecting, you know, so I'm gonna show you that here in a moment. Again, if you want to take advantage of these moves here in general, then sign up on Bybit. You still get $500 airdrop position here, but only for 2.5 days. You know, in 2.5 days, it's gone for good. You know, so it's gone. Maybe it comes back in 6 months. I don't know. So do it right now. You can trade any of these coins that I mentioned here. Sign up, deposit $100, claim the voucher in the rewards app, use the voucher, and all the profits belong to you guys. All the profits belong to you. When we go into my Bybit account, before I scroll down, it doesn't look really bad, but trust me, if I scroll down now, I want to cry a little bit, you know. So look here, that was all green. This year is now $13,500, $600 in minus. Some of these positions were heavily up today. Phantom was up like $10,000. My AVAX trade was up $10,000. So there, my position is getting hammered here a little bit, you know. So, but I know what's coming. That's why I'm holding on and actually keep adding more to my positions, you know. So I still keep adding more. I'm not letting this go, guys, you know. So if they come down, I just add more. And then when I turn around, I'm going to profit off that, like I did yesterday with AVAX. You know, yesterday I added more increased leverage. And then this morning I was up way more than I was the day before. And I just keep rinsing and repeating that process until the market turns around for good. Now, I know that the Bitcoin dominance is moving here right now to the upside. Again, guys, that fractal, I gave it to you like 2 weeks ago already. So we knew that this was coming, you know, so that was no surprise for us that this is going to happen and that altcoins in that process are going to suffer. The only problem that we have right now is how long does that last? You know, so is it over by tomorrow? Is it over the day after tomorrow? That is something that we don't know. So until then, altcoins can still suffer until we see that turnaround. So if tomorrow we get a red candle, then amazing, we get some relief, you know. So at the same time, we potentially, once we break here below 57.15%, we most likely are then in the downwards leg here, and should be fine, you know. So once we are below 57.15%, we should be fine. Maybe we get one small retest here and then it goes to the downside. So that's what I'm looking out for when it comes to dominance. Again, with the dominance, we don't know how high the dominance might bounce here on that secondary higher lower high. It can go up here to 57.9. It can stay where it is currently, so we don't know yet. We don't know. We're going to find out with tomorrow's candle or the candle after tomorrow. So we need to be a little bit more patient here and basically strap in our seats and just let the market do its thing without that we try now to chase every single bounce that is happening. So here on the RSI heat map, on the 4-hourly chart, many coins are entering now here the weak stage, and where we are soon oversold. So, and that is good, guys. That is good that we are completely resetting here on the 4-hourly RSI, because that means when the majority of the coins is down here in these green zones, that we are really close to the bottom of that local bottom, where we reverse back to the upside and then reap the rewards of all the plants that we have of all the seeds that we have planted along the way, so because that's what we want, so we want that the positions that we have built start making money, and not this upside down, plus minus, so we want to take advantage of when the market has locally bottomed and then finally starts going to the upside. On total free, also here, everything was laid out to you guys. I told you we will come back down here into that box. We are back now in that box. Now again, we need to see if the box is actually holding from $1.04 trillion to $1.06 trillion. By again with the daily close here by tonight, we gonna know if we are breaking the box or if we bounce from here already back to the upside. But then again, guys, I told you, so there will be also here a lower high, one more retest of that zone here before we then also get the lift off to the upside. With Ethereum, here again, same scenario, on the 1-hourly chart, that symmetrical triangle, the breakout came really late, and I cannot tell you guys this often enough, that when you get at a point like this here, a breakout, let me actually circle this. If you get here a breakout, it's really bad, so because it can go right, but most of the time it goes wrong, and you see that happening right now. So in the best case scenario for Ethereum, I see a retest again here of the $3,870 level and then a turnaround. But if it goes really bad, so then you could see that we come all the way down to like 3,800, maybe even 3,770, something like this, before you get then here a fake out to the downside with a reversal back to the upside. So currently you could still make an argument that this might be a potential falling wedge, or a bull flag, but if we break here at $3,890 and move lower, then this is out of the window, so it's gone, and that's it. With Solana, the same thing. I want you guys, if we get rejected from this golden ratio area, we will come down to the 0.5 to $209, potentially even to the bottom of that downward sloping channel here, which is currently sitting at $206. Luckily, I warned my Telegram earlier, and said get out of Solana, because we were trading for the competition. I said get out, take the small profit that we had, which was not a lot, and get into something else. And we scalp trade, and there we actually made some good money on that. So luckily, we were not ending up in a loss. It would have been anyway not much, So this is like more or less around the entry that I had. Would have been not crazy, So if you're in a Solana position still currently, there's no big issue with Solana. You should just be aware that we potentially move here another 2-3% lower before we get a bounce and then break here to the upside. So you need to be a little bit more patient, because when you look here on the daily, the stochastic has already turned around, and here's most likely a day or two of downwards pressure that could bring us here below $210, and then you get the turnaround. So also the RSI here right now in neutral territory, but slowly but steadily moving here into a weakening position, which could also lead to one quick dip here. Again, a flash crash, a small one, guys, nothing crazy, a small one. And then you see price reversing. On AVAX, there is still my trade running, you know, so I upped the leverage. My liquidation price is still fine. I'm like over $1 away from liquidation. I'm up $2,000 on this trade. I actually have also a stop loss at $4.35 currently. So if something crazy happens, you know, so I get stopped out, I take half the money of the profit, you know, roll it over and just find a new entry to rinse and repeat what I did here with that position. If you want to trade on AVAX, guys, right now there's also here a Christmas special with them. You get 20% off the trading fees, plus that you stand a chance to win a MacBook, a MacBook Pro M3 with an M3 chip, so brand new. You need only to sign up here. And don't forget, guys, if you sign up there, you also get $100 immediately for free. Plus, if you deposit $100, you enter twice per week a $500 giveaway. So, and you can trade here with your Trust Wallet, MetaMask, completely decentralized. Nobody asks you for KYC if you don't want to KYC. So use that exchange. That's also one of the exchanges that I like to trade here. As you can see here with my Sui trade, that's still up over 150% while the whole market is tanking. One of the coins that has caught my attention that might be ready for a move to the upside pretty soon as Bitcoin starts to turn around, I think we're going to get a nice breakout here with AAVE. We were retesting here with the, so a couple minutes ago that 4-hourly candle just closed. We were here already at that resistance of roughly $400. We are still going up here based on the indicator, so there's still upwards momentum. If we move here just above current price, a little bit higher, let's say $385, we could get another attempt to break here $397. Once we break that level, I think you're going to see a nice pop here to the upside. So I'm currently watching this also for the Telegram group for the competition. I'm watching specifically this trade here right now to see what's going to happen with that because I'm sure that when Bitcoin turns around, that this is one of the coins that will be running the fastest. So if we keep pulling lower, then most likely here this fair value gap will get filled potentially, most likely not completely filled, but a little bit at least. And then you get that continuation by creating a small deviation below that parallel channel here, and then that breakout to the upside. So I'm looking at this here to build a position currently. Then Casper. So Casper also followed our trajectory. Also here, I told you guys we could come in a little bit lower. Let's see how this is playing out for the rest of the day. If we actually close below 15 cents or if we get here a small bounce and basically only wick below here. So the candle close is important. So for that reason, I'm going to leave that fractal as it is. I'm going to pull it a little bit lower when I know where this daily candle is closing. But the overall trajectory here is still the same. So the next thing what's going to happen is you're going to get a retest of the downward sloping trend line. So we're going to move back up to here 16 cents 0.5. Then you're going to get most likely a breakout. So just let me say something like this. A breakout above the downward sloping trend line, then a retest of the trend line, and then we start moving to the upside. So right now, if I wanted to open a leverage position on Casper, I would potentially start deploying a little bit of capital. I'm gonna explain you why, because you have here all these wicks here below that stepped into support, and every single time Casper created higher lows after, so past this low here, every single time higher lows when we stepped into it. So we might, and there you see there is already a small wick on it. I can see it right now. So that might be here potentially already the bottom for Casper. You know, so even if it drops a little bit lower, then I would just dollar cost average a little bit lower. But if this stays that way as it is, I don't believe that it comes any lower than that. So I would start deploying capital, because also here all the indicators, stochastic flatlining on the bottom, RSI going down, MACD bearish. So this most likely will start turn around by tomorrow, because this is already going on here for roughly a week now. Then the other coin that I'm still in with one of my trades at ±0 right now is Lido. Lido here is suffering because Ethereum is suffering, but also here on the 1 hourly chart, you see we are flatlining here. The RSI is turning around. The MACD is losing momentum on the sell side. So here, most likely, we're going to get the retest at the $2.25 level. and then you're gonna see here something like this playing out over the following days, all the way back up here to like $2.58 with a break here, most likely into $2.60, and that over a time span of the next 2 days. So that's what I'm looking out for on Lido. That's why I keep holding my position. I'm not really worried about this. So the next one is Phantom. Phantom most likely also here has on the 1 hourly time frame already bottomed out. So we went here all the way up to $1.47. I warned you that here the second take profit level would be a level where I would take some money off the table. Hence why I did this one exactly that. You know, I took some money off the table on that position. Because I had a feeling that we create a deviation here, you know, so this is a deviation, a clear deviation, where we came now back down, but also here there is an underlying support area, and that is this block here. Actually, let me, I think I need, yeah, so this here. So we are currently in that support block where price tries to move back to the upside. Most likely we're gonna chop around here a little bit, before we then get another attempt to break $1.40, and then finally see here that another flash move, I would call it, to pass the $1.50. So here on the 4 hourly chart, also here you see we are coming down on the stochastic, but RSI is turning around. And when I move this here a little bit aside, you know, you see, so that green zone here makes a lot of sense in terms of support because it was resistance in the past, you know, so over here and over here. So that is right now basically a bullish retest to confirm that this area is now support within that green zone here. And once we get here the next 4 hourly candle moving out of that area, that will confirm it. And then we are off to the races back to the upside into higher prices. So that's why I keep holding my Phantom position that I have on Bybit and also on ZoomX. Then Link, like I said earlier, that was one of the coins that we were trading for the simple reason that I had a hunch that we are going here most likely to $31. We got close, you know, we did not touch $31, we got close, and I would have expected if we touch 31 that we wick a little bit above it. That's why my take profit point was a little bit higher on that scalp, but we didn't. And when I saw that we pulled back, I warned everybody in the Telegram group to adjust the stop losses because right now we would be back at entry, you know, so it was a good decision to close that. But why I initially entered was I saw the momentum here on the 4 hourly chart with the MACD turning around, the stochastic going here in a nice angle to the upside, and the RSI also was shaping up for a move to the upside. And if you look closely, you see it already. Here is right now a W pattern. So this might be also the local bottom for Link, with continuation into a move of here almost $35, $34.50. So I'm also having a close eye here on Link currently to see what's happening here, because I think only on the lower time frames, yeah, like here on the 1 hourly and everything lower, we need most likely to get closer to $29 before we see that turnaround, you know. So here, that is right now your trading range. As long as that is holding, we should be fine. And at the bottom of that range, there is where I potentially look for a new quick trade to make some pocket change. Then the next one is SUI. SUI is still a beast when I look at the chart. So here we are most likely putting in a small inverse head and shoulders here on the 4 hourly chart. For that, we only need to reverse back to the upside. I think on the 1 hourly chart, we are ready to turn around. Yeah, so here, either in this 1 hourly candle or the next 1 hourly candle, you're going to see a turnaround back to like $4.80. From there, we need to see what's going to happen. There is some resistance around $4.80, but my next imminent target for SUI is here $5.20, $5.06. If you want to open and build a SUI position, I would start building it now and keep money again. 10%, guys, 10-15%. You don't deploy more than that, you know. So, and then you layer your orders all the way down here, all the way down to around, what is this, $4.36, you know. So here, big support level now. And that was also support resistance flip zone. Here again, resistance, broke resistance. Here we confirmed this into support now, and that's why we got that move here to the upside. So if we come back down here to confirm one more time support, buy on the way down, guys. Layer down into your position. if we keep moving higher from here and we break $4.76, then you keep adding there until $4.95. That's the last moment where I would keep adding to my positions. And then, of course, I would have a higher target than $5.20. My target afterwards would be at least the 3.6, the 2.618, $6.34, or the 3.618, $7.47. And remember, guys, I still have a higher target, so I'm up here. You know, that's my personal target where I'm gonna close my current SUI position, but not before. Until then, I just let it run. The next one is AVAX. AVAX is here in this falling wedge pattern on the 1 hourly chart. We tried to break out today here at that resistance zone here at $52 approximately. So yeah, there, $52 to the dollar. So we got one more time here rejected, but I think that the next time that we come up here also, then we're gonna finally break out of this. Again, that's why I'm holding my position. That's why I'm adding more to my position. At these levels, I think I'm close to my entry level again. So I definitely gonna add more again. Not much, just a little bit. Before we get here that break above $52. Once we get the break, I think also here we are off to the races. And something else is happening here today with AVAX. I have to point this out. So first of all, on the 4 hourly chart, we could here get also a turnaround in the next couple of hours. On the daily, let's have a quick look. Also here, we're not looking too bad. So, but what could really send AVAX to the upside right now is an upgrade that's happening. So AVAX has an upgrade here. It's called Avalanche 9000. That's the upgrade that they're doing. You see here they have multiple layers now, also integrated layer ones, and they're switching here to the layered application. So, and that could lead to massive upside for AVAX over the next couple hours, or as soon as that upgrade is completed, you know. So that's is another reason why I keep my position and why I'm potentially adding just a little bit more to it. Not too crazy, because it's already a big position, but a little bit to it. So I'm gonna have a look quick here in the chat, guys. Really quick here. So I'm gonna do 1 or 2 coins quick before I have to go. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, let's have a quick look on ONDO. I actually did not have a look on ONDO for quite a long time. Which chart do I gonna take for that? Let's take here the Celestia chart, ONDO. So let's see, ONDO. Oh, I did not draw anything at all here. So ONDO overall still strong. Yeah, but this also. So if Bitcoin turns around a little bit more, then also ONDO will turn around a little bit more. So the level that I would be looking out for would be here, $1.82, $1.95. That would be the range, you know. So if I wanted to build an ONDO position or add to an ONDO position that I have already, this is the range. This is the range where I would do that before it continues to move to the upside. On the 4 hourly time frame, yeah, it's lining up with that, you know. So when you look here, resistance, down here, support, you know. So most likely you come back here into that area and then you get lift off. Okay, let's have a look at dot quick. Where is my dot chart? I think I did not close my dot chart. Ah, here's my dot chart. So dot on the 4 hourly chart also coming down. We were for a brief moment above that downward sloping resistance line. That is holding us down for now 2 weeks, more or less. So, and also we lost here the $9 level, which is also not a good sign. Here's more, potentially a little bit more downside in Polkadot before we go up, but the 1 hourly most likely will give us at least a retest of that $9 level. If we get rejected from there, then most likely you're gonna see that we move closer to the $8 level again before we then turn around, which would be not bad because we have here some wicks down here. We have here definitely a nice local bottom that we found in the past. So I would potentially set some limit orders between $8.20 all the way down to like $7.90, just in case that we see something like this here playing out, you know, deviation to the downside and then reverse back to the upside. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here once again. I will mention tomorrow I will be traveling, so the stream might be a little bit delayed by an hour. So an hour later than today, but not much later than that, so because I have to sort out some things. I fly to visit a friend who came to Thailand, so I'm gonna hang out with him. So but to get like set it in the villa, set everything up again will take a little bit, so but I'm definitely coming tomorrow. Thank you so much. Don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I see you with more profits tomorrow.